Want to do the show or no?
Uh-oh. By the time we actually get around to doing a show, I might forget
what?
Everything I heard today.
What's that? Oh, this? Oh, the entrance to the show? Yeah. That's fine, whatever. I don't have to pay anybody. That's good.
Nice.
And High Time We Talk. Welcome to High Time We Talk.
Nice.
So rock and roll is still here. I'm not saying we were the only band protecting it in 1994, but I'll tell you, it was hard-pressed to find other ones. I mean, there were the old ones who'd made it doing their thing back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. But there was, we were trying to go forward with that, and it wasn't quite. Punk rock was, street music was growing. It wasn't our thing. But we, just like Ron Paul and Campaign for Liberty and stuff, that was just about gone. And here a guy pops up in 2008 and freaks out the establishment. 10,000 people show up, and down the street, Mitt Romney gets 2,000. And they all go with the cameras to Mitt Romney, and they try to ignore Ron Paul, which they did, both parties did, because they couldn't have him,
You didn't ask what I was doing here.
What are you doing?
I'm getting my hair ready for a show.
Where are you going to the show?
I got radio hair.
Radio hair?
Yeah. Kind of hair that only looks good on the radio.
Radio hair.
So, I want to get back to the thing you were talking about before. About, and now remember that time.
Oh.
So how we phrase it. About an individual raping a nun. First of all, if you're going to rape someone, why's it got to be a nun?
Apparently, this was
And
part
then-
of this knockout game, because I guess there's now a league in Philadelphia, obviously.
That's where this happened in Philly. I tell you, tell you the truth. I saw the headline. I was so disgusted by it.
The Philadelphia A-holes, I guess, knocked out a nun. But this was the final.
But now, see this.
And raped the nun in front of the Virgin Mary. Now, I got to say that I'm not sure if that gives you extra points in this game, as the news would call it.
But there's got to be nothing sexual involved in that. I mean, that's more deviance than just needing sex.
I'm thinking this has got to feed Satan directly.
There's some screwed up people out there that got to get a thrill out of it.
Now, that's got to be like, you know me, I don't go much for demons and Satan and all that. I believe evil is just lack of good.
Not in this case.
That's got to be some serious demonic
That might be
shit
changing your view on it,
You know something?
Yeah.
It really is.
There's this guy by the name of Chris Taylor, I don't know if you know.
No, wasn't that guy with the big red spot on his eye that I went to school
I
with?
think he's the lead singer of this band called Slipknot.
Okay.
And they're
I've
one
heard
of the
of
bands
them.
that when they sing, it sounds like Satan's their lead singer kind of guy. And when you look,
Oh yeah, you put the octave shifter
I shouldn't
on.
probably be saying this, but I guess what the hell. Look on their album covers, because I'm sure a lot of people like Slipknot, and I'm not really saying nothing about their music. I've heard limited things by them, so my comment has nothing really to do with them musically, but more something to do with them spiritually. A friend of mine years ago, he moved into an apartment complex over in our town I used to live in there. Mm-hmm. And I went over to see him one afternoon, and he was playing this band Slipknot, and he throws the CD on the bed to me, and he shows me, he goes, "What do you think of this?" And I go, "Wow, that sounds okay." And I looked at it, and they had all these demonic shit going on, like they're about suicide and all this crazy stuff. I said, wasn't my cup of tea. That's all I got to say. Not my cup of tea. But I liked Black Sabbath and Judas Priest and those bands, and when I was younger, I listened to this. So I take note of this, and a couple hours later, I'm watching the news, and the apartment complex right next door to him burned down. 50 people homeless. And I kind of make the connection, man, music brings energy, man. You got to be careful about music and things you listen to. And I made a note of that in my head. So I'm listening to the Slipknot guy who was on that Coast to Coast show 2 nights ago. I almost called up to tell him this story about this, because he wrote a book, Something on the Way to Heaven, was his book. This guy's a spiritual guy, and he's maybe 10 years younger than me. And I'm listening to him talk, and the concerts he plays at, a lot of their fans, they're all haunted. I mean, his music, to me, brings a haunting. I mean, he was talking about, he was alone in his house one day with his little baby in his arms, and something pushed him down the stairs. And he just switched his body, and he fell down on his back, saved the baby. But he goes, there was no one home at the house. And this guy's haunted. He's called it, I mean, does he not think there's a consequence to being like this? What do you think? You're going to just have a band, this is going to be art? But no, there's consequences to this stuff. I wanted to call up, I never called radio stations.
A thing as far as a songwriter, and you know I've done it, some of my best stuff will never see the light of day because I don't think it's appropriate for public consumption.
I mean,
don't you think, as a songwriter, and especially once you're an established artist and you have people looking up to you,
tens of thousands of people follow you.
It's up to you to exercise self-censorship in
Back
order
to that
to
moralistic
stop.
code about leadership.
Just a simple moralistic code. Exactly.
I mean, musicians are spiritual leaders in a way because a vibration is in music. I mean, why do you think I did an album 6 years ago called Spirit Mountain that was all based in, like, I believe in spirit guides. I believe in spiritual things. So I believe in using the spiritual side of the world to better the world, to heal the earth, to heal humans, to help people. Obviously, Slipknot don't, because they're making money off the whole concept of demonology.
Well,
I think they don't know about it. I think they just make
this
their
guy was
music.
pretty knowledgeable about spiritual shit. Seemed like
remember when we went to see, what the hell was that band? We went with me and Amy down in New Haven.
Yeah.
Come on, what's the big band? What's their name?
Oh, the guy fell from the ceiling?
Yeah. When the guy fell out the ceiling. Tommy Lee. Motley Crue. And we're sitting there up in the high seats, and there's all these yuppie parents. That was going to be the finish of the story. There was all these yuppie parents sitting around us like, I'm so cool, I'm taking my children to Motley Crue.
Right.
And the first song came on, it was a song called Running with the Beast, and all their children jumped up out of their seats and started making the sign of the devil, and pentagrams flashed on stage, and those parents' jaws hit the floor. This is how I'm being cool. And what was the consequence of it? The drummer fell off the ceiling.
Well, the energy's bad.
Yeah,
but you
exactly.
know, like, there's a girl that puts teeth around, like, makes a hat out of them, tells all her fans, I don't know what her name is. But she uses a lot of demonology. And there are groups now trying to teach parents, listen, your kids, when they're talking about something for Molly, they're talking about a drug that does this. They're trying to teach, because parents, like you say, they're hipsters. They're so cool. They know so much.
Yeah.
But they're letting their children become possessed by energies that are definitively bad.
And you can take it many different directions, not just
and I'm
the
not
music.
being religious here. I'm not trying to be religious.
You're being spiritual. There's a big difference between religious and spiritual.
Good and bad, It's not about being good. It's about knowing.
Religion is just organized spirituality.
Religion is telling people how to be spiritual.
It's authoritarian.
Whether the people go out and live what they learn on a, say, Sunday morning between 9:30 and 10:30.
That's in the Western world.
And you know what? People started calling the show, talking to this guy, telling them all the problems they had in their life with things, in their house and stuff.
Well, stop listening to them. You won't have them problems.
And they're probably playing their albums, doing all this stuff.
This shit goes on in like China and stuff in the Eastern world where their religion is Buddhism.
Yeah, I don't have any opinion. I don't know anything about that.
It is exploding, violence flaring, bullets loading.
You know what? Intent is everything. So if you think you're just going to have a band where you say all kinds of crap, like even if you look at Ozzy Osbourne and his music, the guy wasn't really a bad guy. I mean, analyze the words to War Pigs. Generals gathering their masses.
Yeah, but what about...
like witches at black masses. What he's talking about are these people who just are killing people.
But what about worshiping a guy like Aleister Crowley, who is,
Well, some of the newer artists are actually...
I mean, Jimmy Page did that, too.
I know. I'm saying, there's a lot of demonology in all types of music. But intent is really the purpose.
Hey, Robert Johnson started it, if that's the case.
He went down the cross.
Yeah.
I mean, he did some signing. It was actually, believe it or not, of all people you wouldn't think, but Bob Dylan, he did an interview for Guitar Player Magazine or one of those big, like Rolling Stone back in 1980s, saying that he did some signing. He's, if you take a look, the guy came up with some brilliant, for the time, he was the biggest philosopher on the planet.
Yeah, you notice how when he converted to Christianity, it turned to shit?
I guess.
What did he put out after 78 that was any decent?
Who? Dylan, yeah, I don't know. I like his music. And I'm not saying not to listen to it. I'm not saying to listen to it. I'm just making it.
Well, he laid the
Yeah, but Dylan, you have to say too, most of the messages in his songs, if you can discern them, are pretty good.
Yeah, right.
The ones you cannot discern the messages are certainly entertaining as all hell. You know? It's all fuck. I didn't get to say fuck yet. Oh. Another one of my favorite things I like to bring up. Hot world leaders. You seen Kim Jong-un's wife?
No.
Yeah, she's pretty sweet. Yeah.
Has any woman
I'm sure, what's that guy?
The girlfriend.
Dennis Rodman did.
The girlfriend that he had killed was hot too.
The girlfriend?
That was probably the
You
one.
mean the uncle?
No, the uncle was this week. The girlfriend died earlier.
Oh, I see.
The girlfriend was like 2 weeks ago.
Isn't it wonderful being under a totalitarian...
Look, here's Kim Jong-un girlfriend and Kim Jong-un wife. See, look at Resold Jew. Pretty good. Got to give her nods in my gallery of hot world leaders. I love doing that. It's one of my favorite things to bring up. My favorite segment. We were looking at them yesterday, man. What a great prank that was. The one, it's sad that she wasn't bad either. I ran a search yesterday because I had to. Remember when that plane crashed in San Francisco and somebody pranked the TV station and the name was like Captain Wee Too Low.
Yeah. Something.
Oh, yeah.
Something Wong. Holy Folk. And Bing Dang Ow. It's heinous because people were killed on it and shit, but boy, what a prank, huh? What a good one.
You mean the people read it and stuff?
Oh, they read it on the news. And as I was reading deeper into it, the station had already online reported the real pilots' names for the previous 4 days in a row. This was 4 days into it when they actually read it on air. A whole bunch of people got axed over the deal. Yeah. People were like, all the fact checkers that checked on that were fired immediately.
I guess what the people have been having fun in the news lately, and I think for me the most fun I've had lately was the signer over at the funeral.
Yeah.
That was he was supposedly signing all these different things, and he wasn't doing any. He was making it all up. Can you imagine if you were someone who was like a teacher of this, and you were looking at that, and
that's what was happening.
People all around the world must be going.
All these sign language experts around the world, they're watching this funeral.
I didn't get it. I saw a short flick of it, and I laughed immensely. It must be hilarious. What's the guy like? He's gone into some type of a mind trip.
Yeah, he said he was delusional at one point. Apparently, he's been up on murder charges. He's just a whack job who managed to talk his way into the
But why is he standing 6 feet from our president? For some reason, why is that going on?
Because shitloads of people
we
drop
don't live
the ball.
in a world that I'm used to at all.
No. But it's scary, but it's funny as all hell.
Just as long as it's not scary.
Again, one of the great pranks of our time.
They show the president taking pictures of himself and was the Danish president or something, and the guy from England. And last place you would have saw, he looked like he was up in the stadium at a football game. He looked like he was at like a somber event where you...
I know.
I mean, if you were at a funeral, would you, hey, you want to take a picture of me, Jimmy? Come over here, hey, smile. At a funeral, man. I mean, come on. He has no reference. I don't know.
Maybe they were celebrating his life.
Could be very well. So, they're both. Oh,
No. Unfortunately, it's.
They're communists.
What it is.
They're not Nazis.
All these
Nazis,
world
communists.
leaders and people who are power sucked are so deep into themselves.
Narcissistic.
Yeah. That themselves, their position in the world. I mean, to them, getting a picture with the President of the United States and the King of Denmark together, that's going in my personal scrapbook. What, he took it with his BlackBerry, didn't he? Mom
Yeah, the BlackBerry. They don't give him an iPhone?
No, they won't let him have an iPhone.
Why not?
They said they can't.
They track it too much. Right?
They can't control the security on anything except the BlackBerry. No, I think it's just the opposite. I think they can keep a tighter handle on him with the BlackBerry than they can with the iPhone.
I don't know.
Do you know that not one of our presidents...
Our president has a phone, so he's got a phone number. You can call him.
Not one of our presidents
Anybody know his
that
cell
have been in
number?
the electronic communications age have had an email account.
No?
Not,
They won't let him.
Not a personal
I heard
email
him talking about Cheney. Was it Cheney?
No, he didn't have one. Nobody. Rumsfeld. Nobody.
So, easiest way to find them.
There were email accounts for them, but not a one of them used email. They had email accounts that people read and responded with all official and above the board.
Can you imagine
people did? They did not.
Can you imagine if other people looked into your email in your name and sent stuff on?
On my second.
None of them.
Oh, I've got another piece
None of
news,
those people
too.
have had personal email.
It's very
accounts.
disturbing. But I think it should be said.
What's that?
You know that Colorado shooting the other day?
Yeah.
Happened to be,
I heard about that.
Yeah, a guy killed, I guess killed himself, but one of the two students who was going after the librarian or something.
Yeah.
Well, apparently this guy was a socialist, kind of like anti-gun.
Did he time that to coincide with the Newtown thing?
I don't know. It seems something weird about it.
Yeah, but he was a real anti-gun socialist kind of guy.
One of the parents was like, when you read the stuff in the bottom, that they're going to probably try to stop you from doing it. So he was talking about, and I'd seen something about 6 years ago about this, but that Dylan and the Cleveland guy and the other guy, supposedly they were raped by the police officers. They were, they were raped and they were put on these psychotropic drugs. That's what the story is. And supposedly the parents from these two killer guys, met with Clinton, Bill Clinton, because at the time he was the president. Yeah, and he said he was going to have this looked into, and he said they lied right to him. He never did. He never brought it up. They're covering for something. And also, it's not just that these guys got raped, it's that they put them on these drugs after they caused the shit. That's the whole key to this. And they're covering up not only the rapes and the crimes of the police officers, but they're covering up the, what the drugs do to people.
You think about it.
And now you got the Sandy Hook, and you got all this bullshit. It's like they're just trying to get the guns from people, because once they do that, we're done. We've got to protect ourselves from them. They're the crazy ones.
Well,
you can't give a gun to a liberal or a socialist.
Does it need to be said again that the
liberals aren't bad people? But the old style liberal, like the Kennedy, my parents were liberals.
Certain issues require a liberal point of view, and certain issues require a conservative point of view.
Right.
My thought has always been that if you have people of one viewpoint and people of another viewpoint, and they hammer out an agreement together, that we're all better off.
Right. That's the way America used to run.
Yeah, if you have liberals and conservatives,
run on more than just Duncan.
And instead of trying to decimate each other and each other's guys, if you all work together and hammer out a viewpoint that comes to the center of both of your ideals, then we as the middle of the country, the middle people, will all be better off.
Right. It's not been doing that lately.
And neither
right
side...
left like a listing ship all the time, and it's never right. We can't get our balance.
Right, and each side is trying to grab more power by taking more personal freedoms.
Both sides.
Both sides. They chip at different things.
Remember when the Patriot Act got signed? And I said this ain't a good idea. Remember what you said?
Yeah. I said
it's okay.
I said it's okay now for what's going on, but the next guy, I'm worried that the next guy might abuse it.
Right, but I didn't think it was. So that made to me automatically that's not okay.
Yeah, but see, you got
Can't be okay.
to admit, both of us were right. I was right in that the next guy did abuse the living shit out of it.
Exactly.
And you were right that it wasn't okay then
It's
because
still not okay.
the next guy's going to abuse
And
it.
you know what's even worse?
What?
Well, Obama, basically, he's done a lot more worse than Bush. He's pushed the envelope a lot more. So he's set a precedent. When you set a precedent politically, the next guy's going to start there. And then where's it go?
Well, that's what happened with Obama. Bush set a precedent, stopped here. Obama started at the end, set that precedent moving that much further. And yes, the next guy, regardless of what the letter is,
You think about it,
his
America is a beautiful place. And then Bush paved this runway for a plane to land, which is the plane of authoritarianism. So he paved the way, and Obama landed. The next guy's going to unload and start going crazy.
Yeah, but see,
That's where we're going. Whoever's after Obama,
I'll argue,
make it through the...
I'll argue that that's also been happening going back as far as FDR, even further.
They had to scout the land first and then build all the places for
I mean,
land.
look at all the
Airport's a
heinous
big
shit.
job.
Yeah, right.
Look at all the heinous shit with Truman.
Exactly.
Right.
It's fallen
All
orders.
this domestic spying shit
Here's the problem,
started
though.
then.
Truman did not want to do a single thing in the beginning. I think he resented winning in 1953.
Yeah,
But
well,
it used to be a bureaucracy. Now it's a technocracy, or whatever it's called. And there was technocracy, right?
why do you think?
That's worse because look, it's the surveillance
Well,
state.
it-
It's those robots that run 40 miles an hour and kill you.
That's what
It's
going
all
back
that
to what I
shit, man. This
said.
is not good. And
It all stemmed from the
They're
oil men.
looking- They're looking to set up Google and Facebook and social networking as the future NSA. It kind of already is the present NSA, but
think
the
it's
future.
the face of the NSA already.
It's going to make NSA so obsolete that when the Fuhrer gets loud enough that NSA should be dismantled, it's not going to create any type of glitch whatsoever in the intelligence collection system. Be it the intelligence collection system on foreign entities or the intelligence collection system on domestic entities. Look at everything is monitored. Every click, monitored, kept, and stored. Maybe not monitored. Kept and stored and referred to.
So what do we
when
do
needed.
now? How do we, like, obviously whoever's got the most money has got the most safety.
It's going to be interesting when
Right?
people like start running for president way in the future. If they're going to be presidency.
What do we do? Yeah, the presidents down the road are going to have to run on liberty platforms eventually. But
Well, they're going to be forced into still two-sided issues, but like the first president to grow up using like a Facebook account, for example, all their shit's still going to be on Facebook, or that's going to be referred to in the campaign.
nice point. Nice point. You'll be able to pull up their Facebook posts from as long far back. Somebody will. Somebody will. It's all there.
Well, I mean, if you talk to historians and people that are in the know, because I don't know, but I've heard people say that all the presidents we've had, like except for like one, like Taft or something, were all groomed from birth, and they all seem to be related to each other. Even some of the people in upper Congress, like I didn't know that some of the Cheneys and Bushes were related
Taft's
to
was
Kerrys.
a huge family.
Huh?
The Tafts were a huge political family.
They were?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not him, but I heard some like
No,
little
wasn't
12
Cheney?
Truman. It was Truman.
Wasn't Cheney like distantly related to Obama?
They even said that, yeah, they're all related, believe it or not.
And
They all-
Sarah Palin was in there too. Sarah Palin
It's worth
Obama
Googling
are
to
like
look into
fourth
it
cousins.
because it's pretty interesting. And yeah, all these presidents, like they even say Obama was groomed from birth, brought over here by the CIA and completely groomed for this job.
Joe
He's
distracted
doing
me.
a job.
Joe distracted me with Sarah.
What about it?
'Cause I started thinking, have you seen her out on this book tour now?
No.
Ah, man, she's wearing like these tight black leather outfits.
We're not going
with
to talk about her
zippers.
mind, are
And
we?
no, the mind. She's looking good for an old gal.
Well, that's good.
She's looking
But
good.
what we need, I told you this before, we don't need good-looking people, so please don't apply, remember? We need somebody on
people.
butthole ugly, smart as a whip.
Calling on long hair freaky people.
Please
Yeah.
do apply. We
All
have
right.
to change that song.
I'll accept the nomination. Butthole
We need
ugly.
the ugliest people we
I'm-
can.
Actually, have you ever seen
I mean,
Uruguay's president?
Who?
Uruguay?
Well,
They say he's the world's poorest president. He drives a shitball pickup truck to the state
Really?
house every day.
okay.
He hops out in like his little tuxedo and everything, goes home, lives on a ranch out in the countryside.
You know what? How's that? I bet that's a pretty interesting
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
he
living.
chops his own wood and everything.
No, but I mean, the
It's-
country overall, is it okay?
It's actually
Not
one of the
communist,
most.
is
It's
it?
one of the most liberal countries in South America.
Really?
They just approved marijuana legalization.
Sounds like we like living there.
A couple months ago, they approved gay marriage. So,
Well, we already got that.
but yeah,
We got it. We got that.
We got that.
Can't marry your dog yet, man. It's coming.
Yeah, but did you see what happened out in Utah? There's some challenges to the polygamy law.
What do you mean?
Yeah, there's, I guess, a reality show.
Challenges?
Yes. And,
Challenges to have a couple wives, I'm
well, that's
sure.
it.
That's a financial
that's a
challenge.
balance.
That's it. There's a couple of these
I
polygamous
say you have as
wives.
many wives you can afford.
This guy's got a TV
You know
show.
something?
He's got like 5 wives.
You know something? If there was an unlimited number of wives, you know how many I'd have?
I'm at 0.
None.
Maybe one.
I don't
No.
know why I feel that way now, but, I think you could do good with a couple.
No. I'd never keep more than one.
Oh, really?
Nah, not me. Not me.
Have one for each direction.
At least not keep them together.
Got a wife and she don't maybe one and shit.
Yeah, maybe something like that. You know, one in Tehachapi, one in Tonopah.
Yeah. I don't know. How we
But-
got the subject, that subject?
You said the Sarah Palin thing.
Oh, the Sarah Palin.
And you said we don't need
Comparison.
good-looking leaders. And then he got onto Uruguay. This is like
Oh,
a
yeah.
brief recap.
So, you know what, like you got a country like what? Switzerland or was it Switzerland?
Yeah, them European countries are all fucked up.
No,
They got
yeah.
their head- yeah.
You know,
Switzerland's kind of, I mean, it's fucked up in its own right because it's got all the banks there and everything, but
Yeah. So what?
I mean, like, actual political.
Tell you what, if
aspect
there's a lot of banks here, guess what they got a lot of? Babes. Babes love banks, love money.
They got a lot of mountains and skiing and all that.
They love insurance, money, banks.
Switzerland is
money.
where we who work behind the scenes live more or less
All I mean is they,
like
they,
the outside.
as long as they don't let a lot of outside influence in the country.
They do. That's where all the freaking heinous behind-the-scenes people live.
Switzerland
man.
is like
That's where all the
one spot-
manipulators.
It's the one spot Europe decided to leave untouched.
Really?
They're like, yeah, we kind of need some of those spots. So
Yeah. Well, you know,
pick this crappy mountain.
you gotta, don't you have to like clean your gun off and do target practice mandatorily once a year? Yeah. Don't they have like the best army names? Oh, I don't know. And like, I guess they make some pretty good color, don't they?
You know something?
With a little more.
I've always had a debate about that. I don't find Swiss chocolate any better than good old Hershey's Pennsylvania squirts.
Why?
I don't know.
Have you ever been to Hershey, Pennsylvania?
Mm,
I went there one time. Got a train ride.
I drove by it. No, but you know what I see all the time? The Pez factory down in New Haven.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was there.
Right across the street.
I love Pez.
The big rusted thing.
I love Pez.
Stop in sometime.
And they give tours.
We also
Really?
drive by the Lego
Should I take a
factory.
tour?
big
We'll have to
fan.
do a show inside of the Pez factory.
I love Pez. I think I'm going to go to Walmart and buy me some Pez.
No, you
This
gotta
is not
still buy
meant to
'em-
be an
still
endorsement
buy 'em
for
on one
either
of those
Walmart.
things, right, Tom? With
Wait a minute.
the
Disclaimer.
figurine cap on there.
Yeah.
Do you have? You ever
I was
collect
just
those?
watching Gilligan's
Have you ever
Island.
collected those things?
I used to when I was a kid.
What
But
kind of figures are they?
I had like Casper, Batman,
Oh, they had all
Superman. I had
We
everything.
had a couple.
Scooby Doo.
Remember, like,
Really?
Peter Pan and Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Peter Pan, Mickey Mouse. For a while, they had them where you could like take the features off and place them around on
Like
different
Mr.
ones.
Potato Head. Like Mr. Potato Head. Did you ever have that? I loved.
I loved Mr.
Make
Potato
all
Head.
these different. I never tried to make the same guy.
When did it go from an actual potato to like the little plastic shell of a potato? Because you know.
What do you mean? At one time there was a real potato.
Yeah, when they first came out, you get them and it was like just the little guys, like
Right,
little eyes
and then you put
everything.
them on the potato,
Yeah, you
right?
put 'em
On
in
a
the
real
potato.
potato, right?
Oh, you know something? I think I kind of remember.
I do.
You could buy like the low rent kit without the plastic potato.
Right, yes.
It wasn't in a box. It was just in a plastic bag.
And you
full
put
of
'em on a
shit.
real potato.
And you
Yeah,
put them
right.
on a real
Yeah.
potato. Yeah.
You make a potato there.
Yeah, that was like the $1.298 kit, or you got the $5 one that had the plastic potato.
Those were
with
for the
the,
poor
with the
kids,
little
probably.
slot in the back where you could
You know
store
what? That's
all
almost
your
cooler
stuff.
than the plastic potato. Isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, because then you could make it like a four-legged and you know some
Right.
stuff. Change the angle.
Now, didn't Mrs. Potato Head come out now?
Yeah, we had
Why
her.
did that come out? Because
We had her.
He wants to go alone.
You know, see, you gave me an idea.
I remember all
You gave me an idea to go in the other room and use shit like this,
Put it in.
all this crap that's in my desk, and make a little potato man.
You have a potato?
Yeah, we got potatoes.
Then, yeah, I would be doing that.
Stick shit into it, stick pens out its head, and all kinds. You know, I got all kinds of
You know
oddball
what you
shit
should do?
hanging
I'll tell
around.
you what you should do. You
What?
should put a potato on the thing and say, have like a Mr. Potato Head contest here. And whoever comes up with the best Mr. Potato Head thing, they get like $10 each. I don't know. But people will probably just do it because you put an example up there of the potato with pen sticking out and shit sticking out its butt.
Then we
You
could
know-
make Mr.
you know what potato
Orange
had a
Head.
butt.
And, you know, for a while they had them too. They had like different type. They
I hate
experimented
to say
with
it, but
fruits.
people are going to listen to this show and they're going to want to do this.
I know. I
They're
had,
going to make all the money.
I had
you know
a
why we
Pepsi
came to the
guy.
big city?
We're inspiring people. This would be gag.
Yeah, right. You terrorists.
we're gonna start a potato movement.
So when I called you the other day, when I left the city, right?
Yeah.
Remember what I thought
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
kid?
Yeah, I have since pissed outside.
Well, yeah.
But I still hide
I left here
behind
the other
the
day
truck.
about 5 minutes away, and I see this as I'm going through this intersection where you gotta stop. I look over across the way. There's this large black man. He's staring at me, like mad at me. I just looked over. I'm like, wow, what's the matter with that guy? So I
You gotta
look
do something
behind
about
him.
that cold.
I know. I can't believe I gotta take some NyQuil. I look behind him, and there's a little kid behind him, like back to the guy. And as I look down, the little kid, it turns into this naked black butt, and the pants are down to his knees, and he's pissing. The little kid's pissing right there in the street. This is in the middle, almost not the middle of the street, it's on the sidewalk, right in where it intersects. And I look back up at the guy, and he's like, and I'm like, all I could do was just laugh immensely because I couldn't really believe my eyes. That, you know, this guy was like, anybody that looked at this kid pissing, like, why is he pissing almost in the middle of the street? Why would you be mad at anybody who looked over and laughed? That's all I could do was laugh. I mean, I never had anybody look so sternly at me I could just laugh right in their face.
I firmly believe in the beneficial effects of outdoor urination.
You know what, Tone? If that was an adult, though, that's where they make you
It's a sex offender.
sex offender list. You get on the list right
I know
away.
that. I know that.
There's something wrong with that.
That's why I hide behind the truck when I piss.
That almost happened to our good buddy Ray.
It did.
It did happen. And he
happen,
was in a limo, wasn't he?
Yeah, he stopped.
He got out of a limo.
He got out of a limo, probably shit-faced drunk. No,
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
He said he called in down to City Hall and got it waived.
Did he? He might have done that.
No, he was a well, like...
Yeah, I mean, that was his limo.
Yeah, he had some friends and some hikers.
That's funny. But, you know, the whole scene was really funny.
We underplayed that, by the way. It wasn't just a limo. It was a freaking Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce. Yeah.
But,
Unbelievable.
but yeah, you're right. You know, coming from the country, I mean, I piss outside as much as I possibly can. And I generally try to maintain a little bit better of a sense of decorum here in the city. And,
Yeah.
you know, because you're in the city, for one.
Yeah,
For
I mean,
two, the guy was lucky it was you and not some pervo. And maybe
well,
that's
no,
why
I
he
mean,
was glaring at
what if
you.
it was the cops or something? With the cops like that? I mean, I don't think they would. They might have turned the bubbles on or something. I gotta stop. What's wrong?
Depends.
I got here.
Depends if the
little
cop...
guy. Pissing.
You know, think about it if you're a cop. Are you
I think
really,
my mouth would just drop. I can't.
are you
drive it.
really going to waste the
The
time
kind of
and
cop I
effort?
am.
You get a 5-year-old kid, a guy with his kid out pissing
Finish
in the
pissing,
street.
will you please move over?
You know,
But you know what the thing about it was? There was other people around. It was like, whatever, a lady walking over there, a guy riding his bike. It was like a normal scene, you know? It's just
they're probably used to it.
right.
And I mean, again, I'm an advocate of outdoor urination. Okay, I think it's good for the soul.
I mean, there's definitely a connection that you get with something every time you piss on it. Whether it's the ground or...
That's
like
how
the
dogs
smell.
do it. They piss on their property.
Yeah. I mean, like, when you piss somewhere, you mark it, whether or not you want to.
Yes, you introduce, again, you become a part of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just washed
You
that area
introduce
and
the
something.
scent of human to a place where animals should recognize that humans exist.
Not only that, on a microscopic level, that kills all the bacteria and introduces all sorts of chemicals that are from your body on there. Like if you piss on moss or something, it'll kill all the moss and it'll just leave a mark there for...
I never had anything die that I pissed
Oh
on.
yeah, see, no, I pissed on moss and had it die.
Except maybe that one spot of the
Isn't
lawn
moss
right
a
down by
spore,
the
though?
steps. You know
Yeah,
what?
moss goes by spores.
Yeah.
Life cycle of moss.
Will a mushroom die if you piss on it?
I don't know. I think that was like one of the ways like they used to make poison arrows down in the Amazon. They piss in a cup and put like mushrooms and like frog juice and all sorts
Right.
of crap.
Yeah, and then you
Just leave
gotta
it sit in
Well,
there.
that
You
to
gotta
shoot the
let
monkeys
it
out of
sit-
trees, right?
you gotta let it sit
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
weeks for all the moisture to evaporate
Yeah,
and for
then
it to
it,
be
like,
just
ferments.
uric acid and whatever, you know, whatever's introduced from the mushrooms.
But down there they have the climate for that. They could
Because you
expedite
think about it,
in different ways.
urine as it comes out of the body is sterile.
Right.
It is.
Yeah. And what they do is they
It's not poisonous.
You know, you could drink your own urine and
It is
survive in the
poisonous.
desert.
it won't give you an infection, but it is poisonous.
Oh, really?
Take
Like if
it
you
for
drank
you.
your own urine, wouldn't you die from it?
No, you get all the toxins that your body just
Got rid of, and you have
Yeah,
to go
you
through your
just-
system.
And,
And
it
it
would
would
be
go-
like twice.
it would
twice
go-
the amount. It would like double the stress on your kidneys.
Hey, what?
Yes.
Ah, boy.
Yeah, but you can survive drinking your own urine in the desert.
In the desert, yeah, to conserve water, but at the same time, you could also dig a hole and then piss in it. And if you had a cup, you could make a thing so that water evaporates out of the piss and goes down into the cup, and then just drink the water. And all
Oh, that would be the more preferable way.
Really?
Yeah,
That would be the more
That's so
preferable way
good
of doing
information.
it.
yeah.
I'm gonna keep that. So how do you do? You make a.
No, I saw it on
Like an
on a TV
evaporation
show.
type thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
the guy dug a hole about 6 inches deep or so. He had like a little cup and he pissed, I guess, as much as he could.
In the cup?
No, not in the cup.
Then where?
Everywhere, like around the outside of the cup. Got all the ground around the cup wet.
Okay.
Then he had like a piece of tarp with plastic wrap or something that like collected water.
Uh-huh.
And he spread it over the top of the hole and put a little weight down like in the middle of the tarp so that it was weighted. and all the water would collect on the top because it was hot out in the middle of the desert. It'd evaporate, collect on the top on the plastic, and then the weight would make it all drip down into the center.
Just the water.
Yeah, just the water.
So the impurities would be...
The impurities stayed in the ground.
soil.
The moisture evaporated out of it.
And then the moisture lands into the cup, and then you just drink the water out of that.
And see,
Pure as anything.
Pure.
yeah, well, see, in that case,
So it's making pure water out of weed.
Yes. It's like a real
I don't
basic
know.
distillery.
To me, this is one of the most important shows on the internet today. I mean, if you can do that, you learn that here today.
You could have just saved someone's life.
see that? We've inspired, we've taught, we've awakened.
We swear.
Did I say fuck already? Yeah, I did.
Swear.
I didn't say cunt, though. That was a good show. I didn't say cunt.
Things are getting better now. The world is shaping up.
Mm-hmm.
Only one nun got raped this week.
I still say, can't change it. I'm just going to find a way to enjoy it. You know?
Yeah, for me, I guess I got to try to find a way to ignore it.
You know, you got to liken it
'Cause
to
I can't cope
standing in
with
an
it.
ocean.
Insane.
And the waves are either coming at you and pounding you, or you turn around, lift up your feet, and ride the wave and have a blast as it slams you into the beach. Face first.
I like swimming in the ocean. That's nice.
You know something? Ever since I sailed them, I never gave a shit about it anymore.
Talking about the 7 seas.
Yeah, ever
Did you
since...
sail all 7?
No.
How many?
I never crossed the equator. Let's see. Never got... I didn't sail the Pacific, but
Did you ever
I
meet
did...
any pirates when you were out there?
No.
Captain Hook?
No.
Jake?
Have you seen a guy with a hook for a hand?
Yeah.
Do you guys have those long parrots?
I had one of them.
Yeah, because you always see Navy guys dressed up and they just pull one out like this. And
What
come
about
back
the
and
whistle thing?
I had one
They
of
got a
them,
whistle.
too.
Yeah, they gave you
Yeah,
a whistle.
a bosun's whistle.
Why
I
did
had
they?
one of
What's
them.
the what's
They
the-
didn't give it to me. I had to buy it.
What's the reason for it though? Why? What's the point? I mean, someone's going to hear
They
you.
had it on
What, if you
Star-
fall
No, they
overboard?
do that over the loudspeaker to let you know there's an announcement coming.
Oh, so everybody had to have a whistle?
No, just the guy that did the announcement.
Oh, I see. Did you do that?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
But you had a whistle anyway.
I bought it. I gave it to my mother. It was a gift. She always thought it was cool, so I bought one and gave it to her. Said, you learn how to use the damn thing, not me. It's not my job.
Right.
I don't think I even knew how to blow it yet. Some kind of special thing.
Really? It was like
Yeah.
almost like a flute or something?
Yeah. Talk about whistles, though. I found one of my old
I was
whistles.
thinking maybe there was a reason why they gave everybody a whistle because you fall overboard or something. It wasn't a whistle. It was a whistle.
No, if you fall overboard.
You're done, probably. Right? A big ship like that?
They got a net, don't they? Like all around.
Did they
the
turn a
edges.
boat like that around looking for you?
He said whistles, so.
Did you hear about the
And I didn't do that
Chinese
with
and
my
American aircraft carriers?
Yeah, they almost
ran,
collided. It was a
collided.
guided missile cruiser.
Was it?
Yeah,
Guided
and what
missile.
it was an American guided missile cruiser and a China's only aircraft carrier.
Wow.
Yeah, of course they were. I don't know if it was the maiden voyage.
Well,
or
basically,
not,
are we locking horns with China now?
but- no, we were. They do that stuff. They've been doing that stuff for 30, 40, 50 years. They've been
Oh,
doing
really?
it forever. They shadow the ship.
They like that.
And what happened was
But did they
another.
tell us not to go in some
Another
waters?
Chinese
Don't go
ship, yeah, they claimed greater territorial waters in the South China Sea, which is North Japan, South China, you know, and everybody over there's all up in arms. But they also, by the way, landed a lunar rover on the moon.
there. They went to the moon. And that-
No, they didn't go to the moon with people.
No. But didn't they shoot a monkey into space too? Or was that in
No, that was Iran.
Iran put a monkey in
Iran
space.
put a monkey in space, so that puts them where we were at about 1950.
That's cool though. I mean,
You know,
He probably did the same thing.
Think about
you
this,
know,
though.
you know when they sent them
Google,
first.
the NSA, and all those groups, they're about 50, the CIA, Black Ops, DARPA, they're like 50, 60 years in the future from where we are now. They're not like us now. That robot shit, if they're showing you that, imagine what they got.
It's funny in like third world countries, like a lot of times in the Middle East, they say like when the soldiers got there, they were all listening to like music from the 80s, and it was basically like how America was in the 80s, driving all the cars from the 80s and stuff.
Yeah. They pick up on our culture from it.
Yeah. When I was overseas, it was more like America was in the late 50s, early 60s. The
Right.
cars, the
Cigarettes,
culture, and all that. Yeah.
jeans,
Yeah.
you got this now. I mean, you
Um,
can't just start with iPhones, right? You got to
But-
start somewhere.
It's possible to go back in time 30 years ago.
but
Good, yeah.
I forgot where I was going. I was going to go back to
Back to Serpent. But
no, not that far
Round.
back. No.
very round. Like the world.
Sorry, brain is
The
stuck.
whole world. And I did the Sarah Palin thing.
Yeah,
I can,
you
I
fucked
can,
me up with Sarah
I
Palin
can do it like a dart.
He curveball
Sarah Palin.
derailed the train.
Bullseye.
And the funny thing is, you know I wouldn't vote for her.
Yeah.
I was ready to one time, but not anymore. She's been
Right.
bought. But
Cold slaves.
what were we talking about? Damn, Iran, monkeys in space.
And Sarah Palin.
Yeah. Was I just going
We
to say
ended
that?
with her.
I think I was just going to say
Monkeys
that
in space.
what they were doing with them monkeys. Yeah, because that's cool too. When have we ever had a monkeys in space show?
I saw that they were going to
Never.
try and put a...
This should be the
Drinking our own
monkeys in
pee, the
space
monkeys
show.
in
I
space.
saw a new thing for NASA is they're trying to grow plants on the moon.
Are they
Trying
really?
to like set up
Yeah.
a little thing.
Oh,
They
I
got
would think they're like 30 years behind on that.
They got a set of plants already picked out, and I think they're growing them on the International Space Station.
Oh,
But
good.
I want to try it on the moon.
Something like that's cool. I wonder, they're probably eventually going to mine the moon, right?
Oh, that was part of what China was talking about, why
Yeah.
they're up there for the natural resources.
I bet.
And that's what this
A
rover
lot of
has.
titanium.
Yeah. Titanium was one of the
You know
ones
what?
they
I think
specifically
if
mentioned.
you really look into this, Iran's probably going to send up a whole group of monkeys to dig up there. That's what Iran's doing.
See, that's the different worlds, right?
They'll be like, they're light
China
years
sends
ahead of
up
us.
these sophisticated drone things that go
They send
around
up
and
real
will mine
monkeys.
it and bring stuff. Iran's going to send up a bunch of monkeys that are going to dig up all the shit, and then they're going to say, "How are we going to
The
get
other
it
ship
back
with
here?"
bananas is coming in a day late. And they don't want to
Okay,
work, sir.
monkeys.
They
Now,
shit and they throw it at each other.
okay, monkeys. Now loaded on the spacecraft. Okay, monkeys. Now there is no room for you. Goodbye. Now we don't have to buy the bananas.
Are you the Russian that runs the...
No, I'm the Iranian. Yeah, Iranians and Russians, same accent.
Hey, really?
When they're done with the monkeys, we sell to Chinese as pets for the miners.
If you're doing cartoon voices, you can get away with a whole lot. The Boris bad enough for everybody.
Wouldn't that be a great movie?
You know what?
Everybody's racing to the moon to do something, and Iran arrives with a contingency of monkeys. All driving rovers and shit. Looking for places to dig, throwing a flag up.
Yeah, but see, now we could take it. Now we could make it a little
Little
more
helmets.
sci-fi. They're artificially intelligence engineered monkeys.
That's
Who
what everybody else has.
Actually,
They got
the
real
heroes of the movie, because they're the only thinking, living beings up there. They've been
Beside the real monkeys, right?
No, they're the monkeys. But they've been engineered by the Iranian scientists in the labs to actually have free will and thought and emotions.
Wow.
The scientists don't realize that they've given them
And the
emotions
Israel's going,
and all that stuff.
And we don't want to give them the bomb.
The scientists just think they've made them smart enough to dig for the titanium,
Yeah.
say. Okay? And they promise
Iran's
them...
kind of doing some cool
They
shit.
promise them bananas. And then they stick the monkeys at the end of the movies. The monkey realizes, hey, if we load these ships full of titanium, how are we going to get back? And they pull out...
The monkeys are smart, you're saying.
Yeah, and they pull out the secret drone control on the spaceships, lock all the monkeys out, and all the spaceships take off back to Earth full of titanium and leave the monkeys stranded on the moon with only a week's worth of oxygen left to survive in their suits.
Not good.
But the monkeys commandeer the Chinese drones, rewire them because they're so intelligent, wire them to get the spaceships going, to empty all the titanium off. The monkeys take over the more sophisticated Chinese fleet of spaceships and come back and attack the command and control center in Iran, the bastards that left them down.
Right.
And everybody thinks China's attacking Iran, and it evolves into a full global war. And that's the next movie.
Right, at the end, the monkeys convert to Hindus.
No, we'll just claim it's one of the planet. It's a spin-off of the Planet of the Apes.
You know what? That would
Which
make
one is
a
that,
great
7?
continuation of the Planet of the Apes, if you think about it.
Well, instead of bananas, we'll have them promise the monkeys grapes.
No, not the Planet
Because
of the
the
Apes.
grapes have been the monkeys have been genetically
Lancelot Lynch.
re-engineered. Wait, I'm on a good roll. Don't derail my train.
Sir Bill.
So, didn't work. They genetically engineered the apes into liking grapes instead of monkeys because the cheap Iranian bastards didn't want to spring for the bananas. See? So they and we'll call the movie The Planet of the Grapes.
The Planet of the Great Apes.
Damn. I hope they already made this movie.
We need the Magic City, bro.
Yeah. I know, because it just sounds so, real.
Now this brings me to another thing. I've been on, before I was on an old cartoon kick. Now I'm on an old TV show kick.
Yeah.
And I've been watching It's About Time. Do you remember that one?
I remember the title. What was it about?
It's about time, it's about space.
Oh, yeah. It's about time.
And when we were kids, it was always, it's about time, it's about space, it's about time to slap your face. And you'd smack someone, whoever you were singing.
Was like a family with 3 sons or something?
No, that was Lost in Space.
Oh.
This was 2 guys went back to prehistoric times. It was like a cheesy rip-off Gilligan's Island comedy. And they go back to prehistoric times and they're stranded in the past with the cave family. And it's Imogene Coca's the mother. The guy from Car 54, the one that, ooh.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Joe Ross. It was him as the father, the caveman, and some kid, and some real hot-looking blonde daughter, and a, real 60s mini-skirt style animal fur. Showing lots of leg and just almost cleavage. With a Marilyn Monroe hairdo kind of thing. And I don't know, I've just been watching it, and it's funny to watch that old shit. So today I had to watch Rescue from Gilligan's Island, the movie, but that was like 78.
When they got rescued?
Yeah. And they wound up back on the island at the end.
At the end?
Yeah, they took the
where they belong.
They took the new ship out. When they were having trouble, it was some good, deep social kind of things.
Right.
Like they were all having trouble fitting into their lives. The Owls found that their rich friends were superficial. Gilligan and Skipper came to visit, and they accidentally left the intercom on the room, and they heard them calling Gilligan and Skipper riff-raff, and the nerve we even had to be in the same room with those kind of people.
Who heard that?
And they were friends of the Howells that were over for dinner. And the Howells immediately threw the people and said, "You will not talk that way about our friends." And Ginger couldn't fit in the movie industry. Mary Ann was there on the altar with her fiancé who waited for 15 years for her. And Gilligan and Skipper rescued her on a farm tractor and a trailer load of watermelons.
Really?
All the while being chased by Russian spies because Gilligan found a magnetic disc off a spy satellite that blew up.
How does this end, Sarah Bell?
Nah, man, now we're talking even something more transcendental than Sarah Palin.
Okay.
Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, that's deeper in my psyche than Sarah Palin.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
The Sarah Palin charm does not counteract the Gilligan's
does
Island
not.
charm. No.
Derailed right now.
No.
It does not wield any power
He asked
over
how it
you.
ends. How it ends was the reason the skipper and Gilligan were going to visit everybody was because the insurance company wouldn't pay for the new SS Minnow 2 until he got a signed affidavit from everybody stating that everybody that was on the ship stating that the accident was not the skipper's fault. So they had to go around and visit them in their own lives that they returned to.
How do you get everybody back on this boat?
They had a Christmas reunion and then decided that somebody said, why do we only have to have reunion on Christmas? They all realized that they enjoyed each other's company more so than the worlds that they left, that they now fit into. Basically, they were a family for 50 years.
Yeah, but how did they ever get, what made them at the end get back on this boat?
When they were, the maiden voyage was the next day, and they thought it would be a cool idea. The day after Christmas, they thought it would be a cool idea. Now, bear in mind, they're in Hawaii. Thought it would be a cool idea that those people took the maiden voyage.
Yeah.
And early that morning,
maybe like a 3-hour tour again.
Yeah, and early that morning, Gilligan got up and cleaned the ship good, and he even had to clean out the compass, and decided there was a few extra pieces of magnetic metal that he threw away, which controlled the compass. And after 6 hours, the skipper said, geez, we should have been at that little island I set course for by now. And then the storm came.
The storm.
And then they got smashed on an island.
I hope Mr. Howell
And
brought
Gilligan-
plenty of money and all his clothes again.
And Gilligan walked off into the woods, and he came back out, and everybody's going, now we don't even know where we are. And Gilligan says, I know where we are, and held up a piece of wood he found that said SS Minnow from the original ship. So they were back on the same island. And that's how it ended.
In case they had to go on with
But it wasn't the same Ginger. Different broad played Ginger, yeah.
Tina Lewis wasn't?
No, not Tina Louise. No, wasn't her. Mary Ann was still hot, though. I always thought she was cuter than
She only brought one change of clothes. The Howells brought it.
Hey, you know what, though? Speaking of Mary Ann, you know that she's been busted like a shitload of times in her old age for possession
Of what?
pot.
Really?
And, yeah, she's a
Why
like...
hiding it on the island?
And she's like a legalization advocate, but every 3 or 4 years it keeps coming back up in the news. Well, Don Wells, 68, arrested for possession.
Yeah.
You know.
That's weird. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm not. It's part of her fight.
She's 68. She's still hot.
I don't know if she's still hot. I don't know. Last time I saw her, she wasn't bad.
Joan Collins, you ever see her?
Joan Collins, yeah, but that's all plastic.
Yeah, and then there's Raquel Welch, who almost looks better.
Don Wells now. Thank God for Google. She kind of looks like Sarah Palin now. Look, there's her mugshot from when she got busted. She looks like a granny there. Yeah. Too bad we can't show this on the radio.
Yeah, she looks a little older there.
But she's not bad there.
Oh, yeah.
She was hot there, though. That's
What did she do? Why was she on the boat?
She was just a farm girl from Kansas going to take the tour.
Where was the skipper going? Where he got lost?
Was it 3 hours?
Was it 3 hours?
You know, I thought about going on YouTube and
You know what I heard
watching
about
the
that
first episode. I mean, what?
I heard it was a throwaway. They had no clue it was going to do good at all. They didn't. There was a bunch of shows come out at the time, and that was thought to be they're not going to run.
No, it was like, remember how they used to do it where you got, like, the prime shows ran from September through to May. And then in May they wrapped up. And then
because everybody was in school.
Yeah, and then they threw you some junk shows over the summer.
Over the summer, everybody was out doing something.
Yeah.
Kids didn't stay in the house in the summer.
Right,
They were
right.
going to camp or play baseball. Not today. I don't think there's one median today kids follow. I think everybody's doing something.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
But yeah, kids didn't. We had a season we were out. You know.
Yeah.
Kind of studied during the winter. It was more of like time for school.
Yeah.
Stuff.
You did your homework
sport.
earlier in the winter,
Yeah.
and then you watched TV. And I remember the big thing when I was
As soon as
real
spring
little
started
was
coming, you started getting ready to go out. And you know, it's weird too. Like you go to school, you talk about like a show like you saw Batman. Everybody saw Batman. Like
Yeah.
all 30 kids in your class, all, or maybe one kid didn't watch it.
yeah.
But everybody saw the. We
You only had 3 channels.
We might have been more programmed back then, huh?
Well, you only had 3 channels.
three
They had
channels.
much tighter control on what you saw, what you watched.
Right. I think we might have been more programmed back then. Think about it.
Yes and no. Yes
Did you have
and no.
shows that you liked a lot that, you know, like, you were younger, you had to get permission from your parents to watch?
Yeah.
They were late. Remember that show Ghost Story?
Yeah.
You like that?
It was all right.
Yeah. It was like, it was probably one of the first investigative, like, shows about paranormal, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
See, it was almost a little too factual for me. You know, I liked like
Twilight Zone was cool.
Twilight Zone, but the other one,
But that was novelistic.
Night Gallery.
Night Gallery, that was
Remember, Night Gallery was fucking creepy.
Who was
man.
that? Rod Stewart?
That was Rod Serling as well. Yep.
Yeah, he would come out like out of the shadows and just spotlight on him.
No, that was Twilight Zone. The one at Night Gallery was he would be standing next to a painting and he'd tell you a story about the painting.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, and it was always like a creepy, demonic
Yeah.
kind of painting, like the shit Jess paints. But
So nice. No. So, but, yeah, that. So then they'd have a show about it, right? Right. Tom?
yeah, yeah. See, I screwed her up by making him watch that once. I got in trouble for that.
What's that?
I brought
Night Gallery?
Night Gallery DV because we were watching all these Twilight Zones and stuff, and Jess and I watched like 2 or 3 episodes, and you know, Night Gallery was like the next
What was
step
your
up from
favorite Night
Twilight
Gallery
Zone.
episode?
Oh, it was the one.
Was that the one Sarah Palin was in?
No, Dawn Wells.
Oh.
Or what's her name? The broad from South America there. Kirchner. Christina Fernandez Kirchner. See, I can't remember them Asian half leaders' names. What was the one over the last one? The one from Singapore.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was like Shipperama Ding-a-dong dong dong ding dong.
Shipperama.
But the favorite Night Gallery was the one where the guy was the evil real estate developer. And he bought the whole place, but this one little old lady, Elsa Lanchester was the actress. She wouldn't sell the farm, right? Not the farm, it was her house, but she had this little garden and she had a green finger and she was planting all her shit in the backyard. And they couldn't get her to sell, so the guy went in the night and chopped off her finger. Right? And when people came to like rescue her, I don't know, somebody found her or something. I don't remember the details, but they came and they found her out digging in her garden with a bleeding hand and all that. Right?
Very macabre,
And
huh?
they brought her to the hospital and she died, and finally the guy gets the property and he goes back and he goes in the house like late at night and he's he says, I finally got my place. And he's sitting down, and there's the little old lady sitting there in the rocking chair, rocking with roots all hanging off her and stuff. And he goes crazy, you know, because the old lady came back up
He
out
sees
of the
this
ground.
stuff all around the house and stuff.
Yeah. And they come and they find him, and he's sitting there blubbering in the chair, and he says, my mama told me from little oaks grow mighty acorns, but you know what grows from little old lady's fingers? Little old lady. And he just show him carting him off into putting a straight jacket
Crazy
on.
Land, yeah.
Yeah, carting him off into Guru.
And that was one episode. But Night Gallery that's about all that kind of stuff all the time, right?
Yeah. So it was too intense for me to be showing young children when I was showing young children.
Yeah.
Now we can watch it, and it's cool.
From little acorns grow mighty oaks.
Yeah.
Or little oaks grow mighty oaks.
No, little acorns grow mighty oaks.
Right.
It said the other.
Did I?
I don't know.
From little old corns grow mighty aches. That's what happens when you get real old.
From little old corns grow mighty oaks.
Little old corns grow mighty aches. Gee, it almost seems like a sacrilege to
like
close
that no more, like Twilight Zone and Night Stalker.
No. Well, you got to remember, too, you were writing for 3 networks. So,
Sterling, he was the writer, too?
yeah. Yeah, but at least some of them he didn't write. Some of them he just appropriated stories. He usually gave credit and would say, like, you know.
You know what? Of our day, Stephen King could do a show like one of them. He's got that kind of thought.
I think he's tried to do a few.
But they know a lot of.
Well, you know how it is.
Right.
Even so, nowadays,
Now people like to see
Yeah.
nowadays, just as in the music industry and all the other entertainment and creative industries,
Right. You'll never see those shows again.
financial controls trumps over creative all the time. In the old days, creative trumped over financial, maybe because there were only 3 networks.
Maybe.
And everybody was saying, you know, it's such a limited field, we can only take the best, we have to take the best, this guy's the best, we got to do with what he says.
And now, do you think we're more like in an affirmative action style culture now? Where like not the best is displayed, not the truth is told, but we get a version of something that mostly revolves around financial before consideration of is it the best, is it the best artistic, is it the best of the Helia, is it the best movie to watch?
Well, then if you water down, if you take creativity, you've watered it down with financial, first of all. Then you water it down with political correctness. Right? And you take away a whole bunch, you place actually a whole bunch of restrictions on the creativity in order not to
By
offend
just
this
those two
one
things.
or that
Yeah,
one or this one. Yet you still have to turn a buck for us. You've now taken the whole creative pool that you can draw from and dramatically narrowed it down. I wish you could see my hand gestures.
Like a little fool.
Yeah. You know, you shrink, say you've got something the size of a football field to draw from, pool that big, all of a sudden now you're drawing it down to a kiddie pool and saying this is the amount of expression that you can put out. So make your comedy or your drama or your romance or whatever fit into this little tiny framework of this kiddie pool. I mean, you don't get the best.
No, we're not getting that, are we anymore?
No.
You know? What?
There's that, and then we'll go
The other
with...
side of it is, we've got many creative machines around us, devices, to create.
And there is also the other side
My
of
friend's
that.
got a kid who does that, has an iPad or something. He makes movies. He makes unbelievable.
Oh,
great,
yeah.
And he's a great writer. And he integrates it with music that he can play through it. He's got it going on, and he's a very creative mind. Always spinning in the creative side.
And again, that kind of goes back to what I've been saying earlier of enjoying the ride rather than fighting the
Without a
ride.
doubt, I think there's many different ways. You know what? It's a million different worlds here in this world. Right?
Yep.
And you might
can
get
take-
in a good one, right?
You can take that same thing I said about there was only 3 television channels and a handful of radio stations, and that was it, right? You can take that as better because there was lack of overload. Without multiple 24-hour news stations, you weren't filling the air with opinions and calling it news, bullshit. You weren't spending a good amount of that time because there's only so much news to report, indoctrinating people just to fill up airwaves. You weren't creating as much of a divide because there wasn't that much spread in everything. But think about it, because there were only a handful of television stations and radio stations, there was that much less bandwidth and space for content, so only certain people were accepted to create. Now with the freedom of information that you have, anybody can create and put it out there. How you disseminate it is up to you, how far it gets. To that extent, I mean, you know, it depends on the quality and how you get it out there. But the opportunity is there that wasn't there even 10, 15 years ago. So there's a bright side of the coin and a dark side of the coin.
So when you add it all up, it comes up to one thing.
Enjoy the ride.
Sarah
You can't
Palin.
stop it. Sarah Palin, yeah.
That's right.
Now, but
Don
in
Well.
light of it, Don Well still. And what
Okay.
was the Korean bride's name? Risol Uji Dudadu.
Resold your soul.
Resold you better goods, buddy.
But you better write it. You're gonna write it. That's it.
We sold you, we're gonna sell him next.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Getting
Yeah.
hungry?
getting there.
It's near dinner time.
Can't believe we did it. I guess this is the Christmas show.
I don't know, it's an impromptu one for
Yeah,
sure.
so
Hey, we never
Christmas
announced it. Welcome to the show. Welcome to
Yeah,
the
I don't
show,
think
it's
this-
almost
no, we're gonna
over.
have to do another show. Actually, we should try to have Santa on before Christmas. Yeah,
Is
maybe.
Santa perhaps from a little farther south than
Santa Maria. Do we have a Santa? Isn't Santa a Spanish name? Oh. Look,
Yeah, it
Santa
means
Maria,
saint.
right? What's Santa mean in Spanish? Anything?
St. Claus.
Saint?
Yes.
Nicholas?
St. Mary.
Santa Maria means St. Mary. Santa Claus means St. Klaus.
It does?
Yeah, Klaus.
Right.
Yeah, Klaus.
Right, okay. So we're prepping for this Christmas show today.
Saint
Just let you know it's coming.
Saint Schickelgruber.
Yeah, because we know people are listening to this. Hey,
Yeah, yeah.
something to learn every time we
Jolly
tune in.
old Saint Shit.
If nothing else, at least maybe the NSA's listening, right?
I was
Hopefully
thinking
they
about-
were entertained, too.
You know, I was thinking about doing a shtick. They're not listening now, but if we ever pop on a register, every single episode of this show will be on some analyst.
You're going to be
desk.
at our trial, too. I write you guys.
What do we do wrong?
We did this show.
We didn't do
This
nothing
is
wrong.
terrible on the
This
ears.
is
Can you believe
freedom.
it? You
This is
swore and everything.
This is freedom of
I talk about
expression.
monkeys in space.
This is
Joe's
freedom of
drinking wee over there.
this is freedom of expression, man. This
Yeah,
is
but don't forget, this is America now.
this is
New
the
America.
First Amendment at its finest.
I'm just saying that
In its
this stuff is
shining
just,
hour.
It's going out the door, Tom. This is the end of
No,
free
no,
speech.
no, no.
You know it. Yes,
no,
yes, yes.
we are the First Amendment in its glory hour. It's
We're exercising one of our last rights, right?
Light shine brightest before the
The
dawn.
government's going to be giving us our last rights. So,
this light will
about
not die.
50 billion bullets.
This light will not die. It's deeper than even the Constitution.
Right, so.
It's
Give me liberty or give me an iPhone, will you?
Give me liberty and give me an
An
eye.
iPhone! An eye for an eye, a phone for a phone. These are some of the old sayings. The new
give me
sayings of the
liberty
Republic.
or give me EBT.
Yes.
No, you know what one sounds the best? Give me liberty or give me Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's cool. 407 Walmarts ago, our fathers came to the shores of this land to do some shopping. Yeah, because it was Christmas and Black Friday was coming.
I figured they could cut down all the trees, make some good money.
Well, I guess the Christmas show's come.
In order to form a more perfect consumer base, we the people
And the corporations.
who will not be named here
We the people, course.
have decided to consolidate this world into one union one economic base, one police state rule.
These are some of the old times. These are actually going to be the new times.
Wow.
We're way ahead of our time, you know. 30 years down the road, people are all going to be saying this stuff. But now it's all new, so we'll teach it to them, you know.
You just get to wag the finger.
It's going to be the same thing like protecting rock and roll, man. We protected it back when it needed to be lifted up off the ground and carried.
Oh, say, can you see with the naked skin is life? And the TSA jangles.
The solar flares are going to put all this shit out of
The
us.
solar still put it out.
Don't worry. Nobody's going to be able to be transfixed by their screens after the solar.
But our assignment for next, we've got to come up with a Christmas song like Rudolph for the new America.
Yeah, no, we used to have
Obama
a good
with your
one for
nose
the
so
12
long,
days
won't
of
you tell me I
Christmas.
can keep
5 moldy things,
you know?
4 Pathfinders, 3 iPhones, 2 iPads, and a flat screen TV.
On the okay, we're gonna have to come up with the next show. So we get the writers on that.
Don't put me on that. I did it once for them when they were kids. I could rewrite it
Hey,
now
listen to me.
with today's
Listen,
gadget.
if you like your comedy show, you can keep it. You know, unless you know the new laws
Comedic
say
here.
that you can't keep it,
Comedic here.
and then you'll have to, you know, and it's going to be twice as much.
Oh, you don't
To
have
make
a comedy
comedy.
show? Well, you might have to tax it.
Yeah, if you like your comedy show, you can keep it.
But if you don't have a comedy show, you
Are we comedy or are we reality radio?
We're reality comedy. We're reality comedy.
Reality radio.
what the hell are we?
We are.
I don't know.
Anyway.
If I wasn't so ugly, we could do this on TV. You know, you talk about being ugly. See, this is what got me on my enjoying the kick. Like, you know,
where the guys put their bags over their heads and they had the eyes and the mouth.
wasn't that Jackass? No, what was
I
that?
don't know.
That was
I
one of
just
them
know we could do
MTV
that.
ones. But anyway, you know, this is another goofy
That
thing.
was a comedian who did that. Remember that little back puppet on his hand?
See, have you noticed, well, now, bear in mind, I haven't grown my hair this long in a few years. And now that I grew it long again, it's different texture. It's like old man hair. It's like wicked soft and shit.
Oh man, take a look at my hair.
And I keep playing with it just because it's so cool. It's like a new toy, you know?
Yeah, and I saw you brushing it there
Yeah,
for
yeah,
radio. That's good.
Yeah, well, it's a new toy, you
Right.
know? So I got to play with it. And it's like cool. I'm marveled by the old man hair that I never had.
You should get a long
And-
wig.
And that's when I said,
Change hairs.
you know what? That's the key to things. Have fun with getting old. Have fun with the shit that's going
Why don't you come in
down.
with hair that color next time?
No, you know, I tried dyeing my hair back the regular color one time, and it looked like a shitty Photoshop job. Looks like somebody did. Plus, it's all white and shit. That's cool, man. I'm starting to look like the fucking Gandalf. Right now, I'm still in the Einstein phase.
Yeah.
But by March, I'll look like Gandalf.
I love
You
you.
gotta start carrying the cane around.
See, look at man, I can do Doc Brown, no problem at
Remember
all.
when they got admitted into the castle to try to help somebody escape or something?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just had a little cane. You wouldn't take a little cane for an old man.
Yeah. Best line in the
Oh,
movie.
yeah, you took on the whole place in there with that cane.
I got my cane like that out in the truck.
Anyway,
All right, so that's the advice for today. Enjoy the ride.
get ready for the Christmas show next week.
Yeah. Watch,
Jangle Bell.
we'll promise you a Christmas
The Jangle
show,
Bell show.
and before you know it, the next show will be coming
Jiggly
back
Ball
going, holy shit, man, it's 2014 already.
We want people calling in next show, right?
We can't, yeah, well, yeah, I guess. You know how it is,
We haven't had a caller all year.
we're such a sad show in order to
Haven't had a
get
caller in
callers.
5 years.
Yeah,
We
right,
call
5
him.
years.
Yeah, he's called people.
Oh, yeah.
I call them and make them call in.
Sometimes we
I'll
get,
call him and say-
sometimes he gets shitloads of calls in the middle of a show.
got any
I
calls.
swear he's going to get brain cancer.
Good.
Used to call a hawk a lot while we were on the air.
He was
Came
great
out
to
a
call
hawk, yeah.
during the show. He couldn't believe we were on.
Maybe
I
that's
don't think he understood.
maybe that's the next thing Google. Maybe Apple could come up with that.
What? Finding crazy
Phone
people?
call to the afterlife. Cell phones that connect to the dead.
Call Morrison.
Think about that for a movie.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. You could call anybody that's died.
Who'd you
and-
call?
I bet you they do
I'd
that.
probably call John Lennon.
They put some kind of like drug in the phone and just hold it up to your ear and put you on a little trip. It's just the psychology of the whole thing makes you think you're connecting with the dead.
I'd call Jesus, Abe Lincoln, and Muddy Waters. Kind of always wanted to check out Julius Caesar, too. You know?
Yeah.
I guess that's a goofy enough note to close this thing out on, huh? So anyways, welcome and it's goodbye to... Oh, he's supposed to say welcome to It's High Time We Talk. You never did.
What's that?
You never said welcome to It's High
At
Time
the
We
end
Talk.
of the show.
Say it.
Welcome to It's High Time We Talk.
See ya.
Anyway, I guess this is the end of It's High Time We Talked. and,
Yeah, I'm hungry.
We'll see you next show. Have a nice day.
Whenever.
Play our outro song here. This is where the
Okay.
outro song goes.
Well, what are we going to put?